everyone, it's Brian with GreyWolf Towers again. So today's video is going to be on a notebook computer. I have recently been doing a lot of laptops and I'm taking stock of new ideas as far as what to do videos on. With desktop graphics cards and processors being so difficult to get a hold of, I'm having to branch out and do things that I wouldn't have done a year or two ago. This past year has been really hard on the channel, and so I'm doing more notebooks and laptops than I have in previous years. If you are not interested, feel free to comment down below. If you are interested, again, feel free to comment down below, and we'll go over more or less laptops as time goes on. I do have another one that I got used that I can do a video on as well if there's interest. It is a MSI laptop. This one, however, is a unknown to me brand, a generic brand called Broage, I think is how it's pronounced. It's spelled that way, B-R-O-A-G-E. You get a older i5 in it, but it is 8 gigs of DDR4, a 512 gigabyte SSD, an i5-8250U, which is still a decent processor and capable of running Windows 11. So this laptop is not a ultra light or a ultra budget, however it is a more budget option. It runs about $450 at the normal price. I got it on a lightning deal on Amazon, however, for about $350. It was actually on sale for $380, $381, something like that, and then it had an additional $30 discount on it. And at that price point, I just really could not pass it up. I'm not normally a laptop person as far as doing repairs and things, although I am doing more of those with graphics card prices being as high as they are. I'm doing a lot more upgrades of RAM and drives on laptops than I have in previous years. But this here is going to be a look at the Broage notebook. It's all that it really says on the packaging. There doesn't seem to be any specific model other than the fact that it's an i5-8250U CPU and 8 gigs of RAM, as well as 512 gigabytes of SSD. So let's go ahead and take a look. The box really doesn't have anything to it other than it says notebook, and it has a sticker that says i5-8250U, 8G, 512 gigabytes. And then it's got the little box prints for things like fragile and don't get it wet and this end up. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we actually got for our let's say $400 because of tax and everything. So inside, I'm actually surprised. It's actually really well packed. I have seen similar packing in my resin for my resin 3D printer. They do a similar type of packaging to it. So I'm going to put this down, however, for a moment while we look at the other accessories that come with it, and then we'll take a look at the actual laptop. So you get the power cable portion of the charger, and then the brick and actual plug to the laptop portion. And so that just goes in like this, and then it is a charger for the laptop. That seems to be all that you get, other than, oh, here we go. Acheleus i515 is the model. Interesting. So inside the box you get a little warranty card. You get the little starter booklet, quick guide. It says Broage N-Book Acheleus i515 quick guide. Operating temperature is 5 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. Non-operating is negative 20 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. So it can be sitting in a colder or warmer environment, but you don't want to be using it in those environments. It says humidity for operating is 20 to 80%, non-operating is 20 to 80%. So you want to keep it in an area that has somewhere in that general area. You don't want it to have 100% humidity all the time, because then it gets the components to get too much moisture. And it looks like there is also a little kit for adding an SSD for a physical drive, so you can get a 2.5 inch drive, which is really cool. I like that. So we pull this out of the little bubbles and we have it wrapped in this little, I don't even know what to call it, sheath. The laptop has Broage emblazoned on it. It is a silver laptop. There is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screws minimum on the bottom, potentially as many as 4 more, so it's somewhere between 11 and 15 screws. But everything is inside that main cover, so if there is a possibility of an upgrade to RAM or hard drive or storage of any kind, it's going to be underneath this plate, and it's going to require a removal of a minimum of 11 screws, and actually 12 because this is a screw cover. So 12 to 16 screws to get inside. If there is interest, leave a comment down below, and if there's at least 5 different people that comment that they would like to see a inside view of this or an upgrade of it, let me know in the comments, and I will do a video update where I do a video on updating and upgrading this laptop. Now, the screen is covered. It looks like somebody started to peel it, but it might just be the way that they did that. It is a 15.6 inch screen, so you do get a number key section as well. It's got a pretty decent sized pad for the touchpad. It's got your typical laptop keyboard with 10 key. The monitor or screen attached is supposed to be a 1080p screen, which is one of the main reasons that I bought it, as opposed to a 720p screen for a lower cost like in previous videos. On this side we have a USB port, which should be USB 3. We have the power connector, an HDMI port, which is actually upside down for some reason, and then the lock mechanism is over here, which is unusual. Typically they're in the back area of it. So at first I thought it was a USB-C when I was looking at the pictures, but it's not. On this side we have a half port for the Ethernet, so you do get Ethernet. It will hold a standard size Ethernet port connection, but it is one of those half ports that flexes so that it's smaller than a full size when you're not using it. It has another USB 3.0 port. It has a headphones jack, and then it also has a micro or mini or whatever you want to call it SD card reader, so that you can add additional storage there and you can read your pictures and stuff like that off of like a phone. Let's take a look at the laptop. Pressing the power button didn't really seem to do anything, so it may need to charge before first use. Oh, no, just didn't press well enough. Comes up Intel inside. Like I said, it is an i5. Now this is the first use that the laptop's gotten. As far as I'm aware, it's not used at all. It should have been new when I got it. However, there were no seals, so I can't guarantee that nobody's like bought it and returned it. It says PC welcome. That's kind of disappointing. Let's take a peek here though and see what we have for properties. It shows Windows 10 Home, i5-8250, 8 gigabytes of RAM. So there's all of that. It does have a 512 gigabyte, well, it comes out to be 475 gigabytes after everything as far as formatting goes. 459 gigabytes free. And let's take a look and see what version of Windows is installed. OS build says that it is 1903. Now version 1903 of Windows 10 is no longer supported, so it will need to update, but I will go ahead and do that, and then if there is enough demand for an update video showing how to do upgrades on it, or if upgrades are even possible, and seeing how it's been running for the time between now and that video, please let me know in the comment section down below and I will create a video for that. If you have any questions about myself, the channel, or the product, make sure you leave those in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, found it entertaining or informational, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button that should be in this general area here, and that way you can keep up to date on our new videos and our community section. And we are also able to be found on Twitter @TowersGrey. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.